The global wine industry has taken a battering in recent months. As a result of the global economic downturn, fewer people are drinking the stuff. And for established producers, it's meant increased competition in a dwindling market. Now, over in South Africa, that's raised the pressure on a key industry that's already facing demands for change. Mpola Kaje reports.
Meet South Africa's first black female winemaker. Ntsiki Biela is based in the Western Cape and works in an industry worth in excess of $3 billion a year. It employs more than 250,000 people, yet meaningful black participation is rare and the sector is dominated by men. Change, though, is in the wind. The industry wants to broaden its appeal. Ntsiki is making dramatic inroads. She has been crowned South Africa's Woman Winemaker of the Year. But despite this accolade, she's aiming even higher.
When you're looking at sales, we've increased in terms of export compared to previously. Even though stats lately show that in terms of local consumption, the graph is really stabilizing, we're not growing. But while actually we still have a huge market, the black diamonds out there whom we still have to service in terms of wine drinking.
These are the black diamonds, and this is how some of them are spending their money these days. Affluent black professionals are making events like the Soweto Wine Festival increasingly popular and important. This year, it attracted a record 5,000 people, 10 times more than in its first year.
I've just seen the most amazing, I've tasted the most amazing wine, and it's in South Africa. Our countries, we're getting it, and I'm just loving that idea.
South African wines, I feel as if they're from the roots and they're very sweet, like our country.
Look how big this hall is, and it's all filled with South African wines. I think that's amazing.
The black diamonds are a small group in a country with a high unemployment rate. But wine companies are aware of their potential and see them as an important new market.
They had to go and tap into the untapped market, which is the black market. And unfortunately, we have the numbers. So the more people we expose into wine, the more the sales are going to grow and turnovers of the winemakers.
Historically, wine was seen as a pastime for the elite. But this event is changing this perception. South African winemakers are embracing this trend in what has become a competitive market. With the wine culture becoming more prevalent in the townships, organizers of this event are hoping for an even greater turnout next year. But they know even more will need to be done to help the South African industry fight off tougher competition.
The wine industry is still running short of black people working in the industry, still running short of black-owned wineries, black-owned brands. We have them, but it's just a few. And again, we need more education for people who want to invest into the wine industry. They need to understand that the wine industry is not like any other industry. It's the most difficult industry.
South Africa managed to export a record 400 million litres of wine last year, despite the global downturn. The industry clearly wants to capitalize on that. But if it's to succeed in doing so, it knows it has to reach out to people like Ntsiki, as well as the black diamonds, to strengthen its hand. Reporting for Africa Business Report, this is Mpola Kaje in Johannesburg.
And as the sun sets here in Accra, Ghana, that story brings us to the end of this edition of Africa Business Reports. Now, you can follow up on any of the stories you saw on this program by visiting our website. It's bbc.com/Africa Business Report. bbc.com/Africa Business Report. You can also visit us on Facebook, become a fan, and give us some feedback. From me, Komla Dumont in Accra, Ghana, goodbye.
Today, South Africa marks 100 days to go till she hosts the World Cup. The government is adamant that all the infrastructure, some of it still being built, will be ready for the big day. Billions of dollars are being spent on making venues and cities into showpieces for South African culture. But there are some small business owners who fear that they may end up falling through the cracks. Our correspondent Andrew Harding has this report.
Cruising off the coast of Durban, local businessmen already anticipating big profits from the World Cup. The city's iconic stadium now dominates the shoreline.
We're going to make a nice amount of money, I think.
Trevor Schumer is offering luxury boats, tours and accommodation to foreign fans. Business is brisk, South Africa poised to benefit.
I think when people come and realize how safe it is, and how positive, the people are here, and also how affordable things are on the ground, I think you'll get a lot of people coming back.
Confidence, in various forms, is soaring here. That's the city's manager making an inaugural leap inside the new stadium. It's just 100 days now until Africa's very first World Cup begins.
Is Durban ready? Absolutely ready.
The stadium is spectacular. Too big, some grumble, but it's only part of an even larger £1 billion city construction programme linked to the World Cup.
The stadium took 3 years to...
We've made sure that everything we're building here is something beyond 2010.
Not a roller coaster, but a ride back to the top of the stadium. After his jump, the man in charge insisted this was all money well spent, despite concerns about budgets and white elephants.
Unlike any other country that has hosted a World Cup before, or an Olympics, ours have been, it's been developmentally oriented. Public transport, big expenditures. Airport, big expenditure. ICT, big expenditure. All of those are things that the economy needs. So I'm not at all worried about that.
But on the ground, there are some worries, especially from smaller businesses afraid of being sidelined during the World Cup.
For the person on the street, it has not been that easy to realize, I think, the dream of having money because of 2010.
So a lot of people are going to be disappointed.
That's my opinion.
146.
But most people here seem to be taking the longer view.
We have a lot of roadworks, but getting the country ready for the World Cup, I think it's going to be beautiful. It's going to change for the better.
Of course, profits and infrastructure are important, but so is image. And for South Africa, this World Cup is an almost priceless opportunity for a sometimes turbulent country to prove to the world quite how much it has to offer. Andrew Harding, BBC News, Durban.